So after last week's episode of Guild Receptionist, it was very clear that we were building into understanding that the guild master who runs this show, piss poor show mind you, was probably very cheap. And I even had some people in my comment section point out the fact that it seems like there might also be a faulty roof above their heads, and that ain't getting patched up either. In the guy's defense, to play devil's advocate, does he seem like he has a good heart when it comes to caring about certain things? Yeah, I mean, look at him. He says, hey, I want to keep the oinka boinka hammer girl okay. She doesn't want to be put in the forefront. I want to respect that. At face value, that seems like a good boss. But I really started to realize something, especially after someone asked me this in the comments. It never crossed my mind until someone said, does she get paid for her overtime? And I thought to myself, no, she wouldn't. Because if you have to imagine, right? She is continuously spending all night. So let's just assume she goes in for 8 hours, right? She gets paid. If she's there until basically bedtime every single day, the amount of overtime that she would have to get paid, there's no way. It would be cheaper to have multiple single employees that don't go into that overtime territory. She is without a single doubt in my mind getting paid a base salary per day and is being exploited. And you can't even argue, well, the boss doesn't know. No, the boss literally set up his meeting with Jade and company while she was doing overtime paperwork. And you know damn well she ain't getting no Christmas bonus for all this extra hard work. And best of all, the one person who's paid to work at this guild who does overtime with her, at a moment's notice that she has a way out, says, don't worry, Jade, I'll leave you two lovebirds alone so I don't get in your way. No, you're not. You're just leaving because you don't want to do unpaid overtime. And I can't say I blame you, but what the hell? The more I'm seeing, the more I'm realizing how cheap this place is. And Jesus Christ, the more I'm realizing this is the farthest thing from a dream job. This is not peace. This is hell. And she is being exploited by the man. And don't let them gaslight you otherwise. You want to see my full thoughts on these episodes, support my work, we got the Patreon, full live reactions available exclusively over there if you're so interested. I'm loving this one, man. We're halfway through season 1. I already want a season 3. I ain't gonna say I want a season 2. That was already a given after the first couple. I want season 3 now. So the big narrative point of this episode was Lulu. She's been having some PTSD, and I thought it was just PTSD because of what they dealt with. Turns out it's actually more than that because it ties back to her first party. So we're building in this episode, right? We're jumping a group of thugs trying to screw around, mess around, and well, they found out. And this dude apparently was within her first party, and he calls her a murderer. And I'm like, well, probably something happened, but I highly doubt she stabbed a bitch in the throat. And she ends up admitting what happened. So when she was an original party member of this group, her first time, they went up against a boss. Probably not the best idea given the inexperience of everyone, but she had to pick, right? So clearly one of the people survived, as seen by the dude against the tree. She survived, and then there was 2 people, both critically wounded. And as a healer, she had to pick which one to heal because she had enough mana to potentially save one, and she couldn't pick. So she tried to save both, and they both died. I get it. In hindsight, she should have picked someone. But at the end of the day, can you play God if that's the choice? Who do you save? A lot of people wouldn't be able to do it. So the guilt she feels, I get, because I think most people with a heart would have a similar, little PTSD going on about what happened and feeling mad guilty. But of course, when you look at it from an outsider looking in, she tried her best, like she did. It's in hindsight, yes, there was a different choice. Someone could have lived. But she ain't a murderer. She didn't go out of her way to do it. It's not actually what I thought they were building into was that the party was getting swarmed and she ran. I thought that's what they were going to build into. And that would have been worse. But even then, I mean, your first rodeo with dungeons, I could understand why someone would flee out of just pure fear. No, she tried and just, it didn't work out that well. And I like how they're handling the party because I think it would have been very easy for the show to go the route of just keeping it more on the Jade and Alina show and, trying to say here's this, I don't get why this guy's so into her, but he is. He likes her stubbornness, and seen by how she's constantly blushing around the guy, despite her tsundere attitude of, I don't like it. Yeah, she does. It's pretty damn clear. I actually appreciate that they're going the route of showing the other half of the party and actually making me care about them. I wasn't super into these two, initially, But the past couple of episodes, and really since they went up against the Dark God, I've actually really enjoyed the other two as well. I mean, like I said at the start, I do appreciate that the Guild Master is at least covering for her, saying like, hey, yeah, she's got some powers. We don't know why she is able to do things and why she's able to go up against someone of this skill, but she wants to stay out of the forefront. I appreciate that. It makes him seem like he has a good heart. Unfortunately, that good heart is cheap as hell. I will never get over that. I never will. I refuse to, and I will refuse to be gaslit in believing that she's getting fair compensation too. Anyway, I like this episode. I said it last week. I really enjoyed what they did last week. It's a different type of episode, and because it wasn't like the main, story focus that you normally associate, some people are going to write it off as, the anime buzzword every day, filler, because anytime something doesn't have a lot of action or it doesn't do a big thing that they want, it's the cliche word people love to throw around, which has no meaning anymore. This episode, I think, was definitely better than last week, but I don't think there's been a bad episode yet. Like, there's been very exciting episodes, as seen by the Dark God fight, but I like how, I don't know, like, it feels like this party I've known a bit long. Like, I'm not saying seasons, but I feel like I'm more at episode 9 or 10 with them than I am in episode 6. Like, it doesn't feel like this is a newer party for our girl or for us at all. And maybe it helps because I've seen a lot of fantasy anime, so it makes me just immediately, like, understand certain things about their world and party dynamics better. But I don't know, like, they're doing something right. And while I'm not going to say this is going to be their overall best anime of the entire year, it's definitely one of my personal favorites from this season, and I think has a lot of potential on the world building side. Like, especially given that, you have Jade doing double activation skills, and apparently that's really difficult to do and can be actually fatal. Stuff like that you don't usually see in these magical types of series, because usually multiple skills just kind of happens, because that's just how it works. You got the stuff of our girl being the chosen one from God, how that's going to relate going forward. And yeah, like all the individual pairings, PTSD, love brewing in the air. It's all stuff I enjoy, but yes, my favorite thing will forever be how cheap the Guildmaster is. Unpaid overtime, it's the only thing that makes sense, and it's tragic, because you know damn well Jade isn't getting paid for being there. She needs to quit. Let me know your thoughts down below. What are you thinking on this episode? What did you think of the PTSD flashback? Really liked how they animated it with the almost fuzzy static imagery. Really cool detail there. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new around here, of course ring that bell, and like I mentioned, we got those full live reactions over on Patreon, and hey, while you're over there, I'll also give you a video shout out. Alright, so today we got Zine Master, Christopher Amp, Christian Navidad, Stinamore, FFF Fan 2003, Renee Villarreal, Bill Canada, and we also have Austin Henshaw. So I appreciate the support, everyone. Please take care, and you all have a good one.